Once again, welcome to another video. My name is MK Akan. I'm a direct response copywriter, copywriting coach. I help businesses make a lot more money through direct response copywriting, through emails, and long form sales letters. So, in this video today, before I dig in, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the notification button so that you can know when my next video will drop. So today I want to talk about something that is really powerful when you're writing sales letters or any kind of persuasive piece. And I want to talk about stories. Stories are very persuasive and very powerful. The most persuasive sales messages have some kind of stories in them. So I want to talk about stories, but not just everything about stories, but how to start a story, sometimes called story leads. Usually the first sentence or the first few sentences at the very beginning of a story, okay? Or at the very beginning of a sales letter, depending, even if it's an email, when you're trying to write a story in the email, the very first sentence of the story is usually really, really important. And as a rule, for stories, the best way to go about it is to start at the very middle of the story. You know, a story has the beginning, the middle, and the end. And usually there is a conflict in a story. For a story to make sense, you have character, you have a conflict, you have emotions, you have a lot of things going on. But the most important thing that is there is conflict. A problem, maybe a situation that is causing an issue. So, a conflict. Now, when you're writing a story for any of your sales message, it is usually better to start your story at the middle. Start where you have the conflict. And you can show how to start or where to start that conflict with your very first sentence. Your very first sentence can act like a hook to cause the reader to stop and read. The first sentence can get the reader to keep reading and keep reading. Alright, so it's really important that you start with a sentence that is very, very hooky and usually in the middle. So here are some examples that I just wrote on the top of my head. These are just examples that I just wrote down to show you what I mean by starting the story in the middle and starting it with a conflict. So here are some of them. John didn't know he was dying that Monday. Imagine reading that and you want to find out, what happened after that? So that's an example number one. Number two, when he opened his eyes, the cold end of a double-barrel gun was aimed straight on his forehead. Imagine reading that at the very first sentence in an email or in a sales letter. I'm sure your audience will want to keep reading because that is in the middle of a conflict and it tells us that there is something happening or something's about to happen, or read on to find out what happened at the end. Alright, so let's go to the next one. After he answered the phone call, a few seconds later, he slumped to the floor and died on the spot. Imagine that in your novel or in a sales letter or in an email. You will surely want to read to know what happened after that. She just picked a knife from the kitchen table and stabbed him in the back 3 times. The next one is, while going out that morning, he didn't notice the sniper 5 houses away. Or the first sentences that will get you to want to read, and that is what copy is about, making you want to read further so that you can get down and down through the copy to eventually click or buy or do whatever the copy is supposed to get you to do. So I read another one. An angry male voice on the other end of the phone said, "I'll deal with you in this town." Alright. Another one says, 3 hefty men wearing all black appeared from nowhere and stood right in the middle of the busy highway. Okay. So that is another very hooky sentence that will make you to want to read further to find out what really happened after that. So the next one is, the note said, "You just won $1 million, but you will never see it." Okay, So that is another kind of sentence. While he was partying that night, his son was drowning thousands of miles away in another part of the world. Okay, so as you can see, these are different stories beginning, or different story leads. They all have a few things in common. Number one, they're all part of a story. Number two, they are the beginning. Like I said, if you want to make your story to be very hooky, start the story in the middle. Start it right in the middle, usually where a conflict happened, right? And because of that, they will make you want to read further. You want to read again to find out what happened at the end of the story. And then usually negative occurrences, usually very hooky. That is just how it is. If something negative happens in a story and you start from where that negative thing happens, it is going to really grab attention and keep your readers reading. Okay? So that's basically what I have for you in the video. If you're writing a sales letter and you're using a story, make sure you start in the middle. Whether it's an email, whatever you're writing, start right there in the middle and use that to grab attention and pull the reader through so they can read and take action. Alright? So that is what I have for you today. If you want to learn more about how to write sales letters, stories, click the link in the description and you'll be able to get into my copywriting group. If you want me to work on your copy, work on your emails, sales letters, then you also can reach out to me. There is a link in the description, or go straight to copybymk.com and you can get to know what I do and then maybe contact me. Alright, so that's what I have for you today. Stories are powerful, stories are beautiful, but you have to start in the middle and you have to use them properly. Start in the middle and use the first sentence to hook your reader in. Alright, make sure you subscribe to the channel and see you some other time. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you have any ideas or if you have questions about videos I should make for you, let me also know in the comments. Thank you and do have a wonderful day. Bye bye.